Hi, it's Tyrone here. Welcome to another weekly market analysis. It's the 19th of February now, and it is Monday morning here in the UK. Before I delve into the market analysis, I just want to mention I'm going to bring some videos out in the community that I've got on Google Community, the Forex supply and demand study, because this is just what I'm doing here is just a keep you on the right side of the trend when there is a trend, by the way, and it's a very sort of set and forget approach. However, if you want to trade successfully, you've really got to understand everything. You've got to understand all the quality supply and demand levels, because when you know what you're looking for, you can work out your profit margin and you can just trade levels to level. You don't have to worry about trends so much in the market. You know, you look at momentum, you understand patterns and so forth, so it gives you an edge where you want to be getting in, like I'm talking about here. But to get into real pure institutional supply and demand, which means you want to get the first touch, it's like, as an example, this weekly, you know, the first pull back into this level is what you want to trade, not the second or the third. But not necessarily would this be a level that I would just trade purely on supply and demand. So I'm going to touch on that. So that's why I say it's contradictory. Trading isn't all about 100% rules, because the markets are not 100% one way. They're not just a trending market all the time. They're volatile. There's so much that changes between the time frames between the weekly and the monthly, so you have to have a bit of skill to understand what to look for. So I want to talk more about that later. I don't want to confuse anybody right now. Meanwhile, let's get on to this particular strategy. I'm looking at I'm trying to get into a big monthly trend this year. So at the moment, this Aussie CAD is sideways market. It's a range bound market. I have a supply level here which price could bounce from, but it's not a level that I'd be trading this strategy. So the weekly is up within this range, which is good, but if I'm going to trade this particular strategy range bound on the monthly, I want to get in at the extremes. So, you know, we'll look at that as time goes on. In fact, this monthly Aussie Swiss, I'm going to trade this extreme. Now, it does align with this pattern. What I'm looking for, because this is a pattern style trading, by the way, what I'm looking for is strong rallies down, closes below, pull up into a level to go with the trend. But when I'm range bound market, what I'm looking for is, as you can see, we've taken out this demand and then we've rallied all the way almost to the top of this monthly high. If we'd taken it out, this is invalid pattern. But once we've reached an equal or lower high, and there are wicks like this that I can see, then I'm going to place an order to go long. Really, it should be at the bodied candle here, but I'm just going to, because I've only got 50 pips, I'm just brought it a bit lower. Then I'm just going to take I think I've got 60 pip risk here. So 20 pips below this low, and I've put 60 pips just to, maybe 70 is needed, but I'm going to go with 60. And this is a natural set and forget pattern. As long as this keeps dropping, as long as we don't start to create a decent pivot low and start pushing up again, this will get cancelled. If we keep on dropping, this is a set and forget with my target all the way up here. This is the first touch of a range bound pattern. It wasn't range bound because we just took out the lows here. This is a decent range bound strong pattern, the fact that we didn't take this high out. So this pattern tells me to go long here. Very similar to the when we break low, we come up, we automatically short this position on a normal pattern. If we was in a downward trend, for example, this would be a short. It doesn't really matter what way. The trend from here has broken this low, closed below, so this would be a natural short if I would have been around at the time before. You know, this is going back last year. but because it's reached these highs, targets would have been in this area already, and this would be another entry to go long. So they work in hand, this range bound and this style of pattern. So I'm going to delve into that a little bit more as I see it on the lower time frames. Meanwhile, we've got a downward movement. We've got this nice supply level, but this is range bound, so I'm not going to trade these lower time frames within this monthly. I'm just going to take the extreme, because that's the bigger picture. There's no point me trying to trade in between that. Just take the extremes and ride it. Upward trend, sideways, potentially if we close the end of this month down here, this is already in a downward trend. If we don't close, it is still to the weak side. This is definitely an area of supply already, because we've broken the lows, but it might not be the one that I would take unless we close below. Meanwhile, the weekly's definitely got a strong supply level. We've closed below, and I say we closed below. This candle is closed below this low, but it hasn't closed below this wick. But we are closing below this low. Okay, so this to me is a fantastic area if we rally strong. And if we do rally and make entry and don't take out these highs, what I mean is a wick above it, even though I might not get stopped out and it drops, I'll be looking to take a long in this area, just so you know, and play this weekly range. We have got already, as an example, a drop, base, rally. This was a drop, and now we've come up an equal high to this. This would have been an ideal long opportunity based on, this could have been a range bound market here, which would have been a loss, just so you know, but it would have been a weekly range bound. This would have been a valid long, only for the fact that we've dropped, we've rallied, then dropped and rallied all the way up equal, I think it was equal high. If it was above, then we wouldn't know. I think we just poked above, so it wouldn't have been high. 8906. 89. No, this candle just invalidated. It went about 2 pips above this high. If this wick here hadn't gone above this pivot point, this probably would have worked. I know it sounds crazy. I've back tested the hell out of this. These patterns don't happen that often, but they're very, very strong patterns, and that to me tells me to avoid the trade. If we just poke, if we're equal, fine, but if we just poke 0.1 of a pip out, that's it, cancel down here for a long, because it's probably going to drop. Anyway, that's what I'm looking for now, is a retracement up to this area. We've got no closes on the dailies, there's not much else I can do there. Aussie dollar, this is a trend into the upside, but we've already had the push up, the pullback, and the continuation. And looking at the pattern, 2 green candles up, it's not that strong anymore. It could have retraced, and we could be in for another push up. So who knows? Who knows? This month, we're on the 19th, we could end up with a big green candle kind of pushing up higher. So and this is a supply level, by the way. Here, this is a very strong supply level that needs to be broken, and because we've been into this, again, I want to talk more about this later. This area, we've already touched it multiple times. There's a high chance that it's going to get broken and push through, and then I'm expecting price to rally up to somewhere this area. It could be a couple of could be all the way through next year, but it could be a very nice trend, could be a strong push up, and I'm hoping for a strong rally all the way up to here. But target wise, if we was to get in on this daily, because this is a daily level right here, because we've had a rally, then a base, and then a close above. We've not taken out, we've not closed above this, well, we have, because we've got a drop and a close. We've closed above this little basing area here, but not this pivot point, which is part of this kind of base, but we have taken it out. So to me, if price is going to now push and continue, and that was my prediction, then there's a nice daily level here to get on board if it retraces. Now I've had one strong move up, a second smaller move up. So I've got a base. I can have 2 moves down to make entry here, because I had 2 green candles up. I can have 2 red candles down. So we'll see what happens this week if I make entry. I don't want to base up here for too long. Let's move on for the CAD Swiss. Range bound market. Again, a different strategy. This is just generally the strength. When a pattern's been, normally if a pattern happens a few touches, it starts to break. But after 4 or 5 and it's going along like this for so long, you know, it's almost like you've got to get in early, and then as a pattern continues, stop trading it, because it's probably not going to work. But if it does continue working, then just play the range, because it's a massive it's not a monthly, it's a high time frame at work here. So just play the range. So that was what I was doing from last year. CAD yen, let's drill this back out. Uptrend, we've just taken this level out now. We've not closed below, but it's already a sign of weakness. So it could be, if we push back up, it could be a fake out and a range bound market. Okay, if that is the case, maybe we can play this range back up following a daily or 240 minute level, but we'll have to wait till next month. Swiss yen, here we go. This isn't quite the same pattern. We've had a drop, we've had a rally, we've had a drop, and we've had a strong rally back up to here. So if this drops all the way down to these lows, it could work, okay, but this is kind of getting weaker after the amount of touches we've had. It's kind of in between the previous pair, the CAD, not the CAD yen, the CAD Swiss. It's kind of somewhere in this area where things are going to start to break, and if it holds, if it does hold, then I think it's going to push higher. So I'm looking at getting long on a decent level, because pretty much demand is still in control. We've not taken out since this strong push up and a pullback into this area, and we've started to close like this, pull back, close higher. I'm looking at going long, looking at this could break higher, and then because it is a range, and then we could end up pushing higher. That is my estimate, prediction, based on this nice weekly level. We've got 2 green candles up. We've had one, we could class this almost as the base in one, because we've had 3 green up if you look at the base. So we've had 1 with the base, 2 down. I've got this week to make entry at this low. What I can watch for, if we don't reach down and it starts to turn, is the 240 minute to produce some levels. Now the advanced stuff I was talking about, what I'd be looking for is a level over here, and there is a nice one here, by the way. If you look at this, it's 8 o'clock, which is at the extreme, strong rally, but this is extreme in that weekly. This isn't a level that I would normally look to take based on this basing if it wasn't for in the weekly extreme, just so you know. I'm going to talk more about on these smaller levels. I have got videos out there already, but it's a little bit more advanced. But I like that style of trading. It gets you in at a lower risk and higher reward. Euro Aussie uptrend. We've already rolled over here. We haven't closed above on a weekly, but we have spiked above, which is already giving me an indication that price might be getting stronger. Now, if you remember me talking about the range, why I don't trade the extreme here if we break above, do you know why that is? Because I found through statistics that price tends to break the low. That's why I always wait for a close. If I get a close above, the odds that this will pull back and continue higher within that pattern timing rule are higher. That's all it is. It's just statistics, back-tested statistics. So, was a level down here, didn't get the retracement on the daily, and there is nothing else to do unless we start to close above higher on the daily, producing some daily demand. So nothing to do there. The Euro CAD rally, base rally, not closed, but look, if you notice, I cancelled these orders now because this is really pushing away past the middle of the month. There's no way this is now monthly demand. This is definitely going to be monthly demand. We've already had a nice, this isn't official yet until the close, but it looks like we're definitely going to close. I can't see this dropping all the way back down. So with that, the monthly's up anyway. The weekly is up. We've got a weekly level here, but not quite a level that I would trade until we close above. But what I have got is an order right here, which was based on the daily originally. We've kind of closed up above here. In fact, I think, hold on, have we closed above? High 5646.3, high 5569. Let's try that again. 56. What's the close? 5402. 5569. No, 5572. Sorry, I was just looking at different statistics there, readings there. But no, this is closed above this. This is now an official weekly level. That's why I've already put that order in now. I've done this during the weekend. I'll adjust that in a moment. Yeah, once I saw that closed above, I put this order straight in here, looking for a strong week down to make entry, which is here. Let me just get this 50 odd pip. There we go, that's the correct place. And we've also got a close on the daily, so we've got this nice daily level, because this might not retrace that far, so it might only hit here. And I've got I've got pretty much by the end of today, end of Monday, to make entry. If I don't make entry today and it just sort of drops a little bit, this will get cancelled. Okay, base 1 green, base 1 red down. It'll be 2 red, but you know what I mean. Euro Swiss, again, this is definitely a demand level, but not a strong one, because we've not closed above. High chance that it can get taken out. Weekly, that was a supply level, another supply level. This is counter trend stuff, by the way, and this wasn't a decent daily supply because we never took the low out, but it still held because it's, you know, obviously supply and demand imbalances are different. It's more in supply's favour. This one closed below, strong move up. Look, this one worked, but this is a counter trend. Bang. Target would have been here, or just let it ride, trying to get on to a decent trend to the downside. Closed below, another level. Price has rallied, reacted, but I'm not trading that. It's a counter trend one. Nothing on this monthly except it's kind of, you can see by the candlestick, some base is forming, and I'm just going to analyse why I've got a level here. That low was just taken out, so it's range bound. I think this is because I'm trying to catch potential that this is a range that could be rolling over here. I'm going to delete this one. This is a range bound, kind of staggering down here. But I'm just going to delete this order, euro pound. This should be on a different, I don't want to confuse people. I think I'm just trying to put some more orders in here to help build this account, but you know what, I think it's just going to confuse people, so I won't do that. We'll wait to get into the community on my Google Plus account there in the next few months, and I can go into it a lot deeper. Beautiful level here, closed above, strong move down. Now, when it's a really strong move, there's a, you know, this could be starting to be an engulf and drop and break, but the rules still apply. So I've got the extreme. It'd be fantastic if it does make that entry and does bounce. It'd be lovely. We have got now, because we've started to take these lows out, we've definitely got an area of supply, but not strong supply till we close below. And if that does close below, it looks like this is going to be taking this level out and price is reversing, you know. And this is what happens, you know, you're catching the end. Look at all this big move up, you know, trying to get in near the end, or it will be a pause. This will be a pause, and maybe a bit of a range or base in here before it continues higher. So this would be the right area to get in. Not much I can do there, just take that extreme at the moment on that monthly. Euro New Zealand, rally base rally. We've got 2 green candles up, we've got, well, almost 3 in the base here. We've not really had any closes below to push down, so you know it's still a strong area of demand. However, the amount of candles that are starting to base up here, I might probably give it to the end of this month to kind of make some kind of, actually this isn't even a trade that I've got on now because of the amount of candles here. 2 green, 2 in the base. I probably wouldn't even trade this down here. I'd look for some kind of confirmation on the daily because it is a level. Now it looks like we're already bouncing, by the way, but the weekly, we did take the high out here of this weekly level, so definitely looking to get stronger. There's more weight on this, but again, there's a high chance that this can get taken out for the fact that we didn't close above here. Alright, so it could just take this out, get stopped out, and then reverse anyway. Like I said, more research needs to be done on that. I really can't see decent patterns except for close above, or we don't take this out and go for a range bound market. So I'm not going to trade that. The euro dollar, oh, now we've got a fantastic monthly level here, uptrend. We've got a weekly level. What's happened though is we've started to drop, we've closed below and done this. This is no longer a weekly a trade that I would sorry, this level is no longer a level I would trade no more because we've got this close on the green here. However, we've got a nice daily level because this was an area of supply, closed below. Price has taken it out. There is a high chance that we continue dropping. If we drop within the next few days, bang, fantastic area to go long. There is a probability of this being taken out for the fact, as you can see, we've not got a close above this high here, which is just a wick above. Tends to might just delve deeper into this area below this, and then it will reverse anyway. But again, I know I've already accepted the risk. I've got to stick to some kind of rules. Pound yen got stopped out here. This was a base and then a rally, close above. Strong move down this month. Perfect example to make an entry. Just it looks like I said, price might be rolling over at the moment. That's why I've been getting these string of losses. But I'm going to continue and just stick to the plan. Pound dollar, nice strong uptrend still. We've got a beautiful monthly level. Looking for this, could be basing this month with a strong month down, maybe even 2, looking at the distance from here, because we've got a red sort of hammer, but it's closed right in the top 25%. So you know, 1, 2 candles up, a base, maybe 2 candles down. Let's have a look on the weekly. This level is no longer because of this close here on this candle, but we've got a nice daily level. Look at the close above. Fantastic daily level here, and because this isn't like a range bound here, there's a higher chance that this will work. New Zealand dollar, expanded range, we won't bother with that. Dollar CAD, downtrend. We started pushing. The strength isn't there. We've got obviously got this big wick here bouncing from this level. This could be this is a very, very strong level, by the way. Again, I want to talk more about proper supply and demand levels to explain why, but this is a very, very strong level. However, these levels are designed to be broken. We've had a touch here, a second touch, very deep. What it's doing is, because this is a level of importance to very big guys, they're trying to hold this, and it could bounce, but I think based on my experience, this may well just mess about a little bit and then drop through. So I'm definitely looking to short this market, but I want to wait for the weekly to get in sync. So as soon as we can take this low out, then I'm going to start to lean on supply levels on that weekly. The more advanced way of doing it, based on this, is looking for a level. So I'm just slightly touching on this now. It's looking for a decent level of, which we've almost reached it, of supply on the daily. This will be it. If it breaks this, then you know, then I would definitely want to be leaning on the weekly to get in sync, because we're looking like we're going to have a sort of rally base and then rally. If it breaks this, it's probably going to close here on the weekly, making it a strong weekly uptrend, which means this level might hold. So this will be the level. It has already tried to rally and reach that area, but it's not quite got there. So another strong rally, this would be where I'd have a set and forget on a different account for a short. I just want to point that one out there, just a bit of experience, slowly introduce new concepts into this trading. As we have ranged and starting to drop, I draw these in instead of a moving average, because this gets the average 50% average strength of what's happening. That's why I'm drawing like this. This is the pattern that I see. Very nice, rolling over. It's very nice and smooth. So therefore, definitely looking to short. There is no weekly level. That level up here has got to be cancelled now, which is order 605. So I'm just going to do that now on the dollar Swiss. Get rid of that order. Monthly level can stay, but I've got a nice daily level here. Drop, base, drop, close below. Here's my order. Not above here, but above this little drop, base, drop. So there is my order. We'll see if we can rally there in the next few days, this week sometime. Dollar yen. This is a flag pattern, rally, flag. I did actually take a little pot shot along here based on the pattern that I normally trade, and it got stopped out. Another £4 loss, but I thought I'd give it a go. And it is definitely still looking to short. We've got a strong level of weekly supply right here. Very strong level of supply. This was also a little level right here, by the way. It's not a level that I would have shown you on there, but it is a level, and price has already reacted to it. So this is the recent level supply, a couple of weeks up to this extreme. Or we've got this daily level here now. Level on top of a level, a daily level underneath the weekly level. So this will be the level. Nice week rally, which will be 3 or 4 days into this area. Or again, I have to watch some of these areas on the lower time frame. If I've got time, I'll sometimes drop down to the 240, looking in this area on a 240-minute time frame. If I was to just have a look now, there is nothing that I would take as a 240-minute supply level as a set and forget. Definitely the extreme, or wait for new supply to be created in that area. So if price rallies into here, I'd look for new supply levels to be created to take. Okay, that is the safer option. Just want to have a look in this area, because if we start to close, this month, could be some decent daily. I'll use this chart. Only an extreme at the moment. There is no even decent daily supply that I would trade. No, I'd have to be wait for price to rally and then new supply levels to be created. I wouldn't be trading set and forgets from any of these, you know, conventional. You watch Sam Side and watch them all. I wouldn't be trading any of these levels. They've got it right on Online Trading Academy, but it's very difficult to understand. I think they make it that way. That is it, guys. That is the weekly market analysis in a bit more detail and in depth. I'm going to bring some video out, like I said, touching on some examples on Forex Tester 2. Don't want you to take my word for it, to show you how these levels work and don't work, and why they, on the long run, will make you profitable. That's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Don't give me a thumbs up, and safe trading. Till next week.